All right, so welcome everybody. We appreciate you taking your time. As we go through, I will try and let other people in if they're arriving late. For those of you arriving late, if you don't mind putting your name and your organization into the chat box so we can keep track of the attendance, that would be great. All righty, so we'll go ahead and get started. We took the opportunity to make this about wellness because this year, unfortunately, due to COVID, we were not able to have our wellness fair. In lieu of that, we dedicated a whole Building Bridges meeting to the wellness topic so that we could discuss that. And we brought in some experts to talk about wellness, some from our district and also some from outside the district that will be discussing a new resource in our community. So just before we get started, forgot. My name is Nancy Gutierrez. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Nancy Gutierrez. I'm the coordinator of parent community engagement. And Nettie, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Nettie Laiolo. I'm the coordinator of psychology and counseling for Torrance Unified.
Great. And so since last time it did take quite a bit of time for all of us to introduce ourselves, we chose to have you guys put your names into the chat box so that we could know who is here today. But if anybody has any updates or they would like to make an announcement about the organization, feel free to unmute yourselves and take a moment to give us any update about your agency that you'd like to share with the group. Does anybody have any updates and want to introduce themselves and let us know anything that's going on with their organization?
I'll go, Nancy.
Yes.
So I just wanted to remind everyone that we're doing a bulk meal distribution for anyone 18 years and under at all of our TUSD school sites. So anyone 18 and under can receive bulk meals. So on Mondays, we do give out 3 days worth of meals. And on Thursday, we do 4 days worth of meals. And we are going to be serving over the holidays and all that good stuff. So if you want any more information on that, you can email me or go to the TUSD website under nutrition services. And we have our flyer and all that good stuff there that has all that information. Thanks for letting me do that, Nancy.
Of course. Yeah, actually, we had a question from a parent that you might have already addressed, but they called the Welcome Center and they asked about whether there was going to be distribution of meals during the holidays. And I think you did mention that it does.
Yeah. We usually do 2 bulk pickups twice a week, Mondays and Thursdays. But because of Thanksgiving landing on a Thursday, we will be just doing it on Monday and giving out 7 days worth of meals then. And then same thing with like the main 2 weeks of Christmas, we'll be doing it. I think the 21st and the 28th will be like a whole week's worth of meals. So yeah, we'll continue to serve during the holidays and the breaks and all that good stuff.
Okay. Sounds good. That's good information to have, that they'll be able to still pick up during those times. Does anybody else have any other announcements? Feel free later on in the presentation, we will also have time for you guys to share. But if you have any thoughts right now that you wanted to share about your organization, feel free to unmute yourselves. Anyone else?
Hi guys, I'm Steve Cagle with Core Center. I'm at Curtis Tucker in Englewood. And we're just starting all of our workshops, so we can put our information in the chat box. We're going to be giving out free naloxone kits. We do screening and referrals here. We've been doing everything online, obviously. Yeah, the workshops are starting with substance abuse in the community, naloxone trainings, things like that. So if you guys, we can always put our information in the chat box or email anybody afterwards. Thank you.
Thanks. All righty. So just so that you're aware, we're going to be going through just some TUSD updates to provide you information about what's going on with us here in Torrance. Then we have our great speakers from within the district who are some experts on wellness. So our TUSD Nutrition Services Director and Assistant Director are here to share some info. And also we have this month a highlighted agency that we're actually letting speak and give us some great information about their new wellness center that just opened, the Curtis Tucker Wellness Center. So they're going to be providing a short presentation to you about what their services are. And then we have at the end some community resources and announcements. So if you think of something along the way that you didn't think of now, you'll be able to unmute yourselves and share information before we leave for the day. So I just wanted to give you that overview of what we'll be discussing. So we're going to go in. I'm going to split up the TUSD updates because I know that our nutrition services department has another meeting to go to. I know we have a lot of Zooms recently, so we'll give them some time. So I'm just going to do a couple of slides and then we'll break for their presentation, and then we will go back into our TUSD update. So just to give you that update. So we just wanted to touch base and let everybody know, if you didn't know, that actually November is McKinney-Vento Homeless Youth Awareness Month. So throughout the nation, schools, organizations, they sometimes do activities to highlight that it's Homeless Youth Awareness Month. And unfortunately, during these times, it can be difficult for our homeless families, especially during COVID. It has been a little bit more challenging for our students. Because of the challenges that they face, we've had, gratefully, we've been able to expand our intern program thanks to the board being able to approve different grants and different things to be able to expand to have 35 interns this year that are thankfully being able to case manage our homeless families. And so they check in once a week to see those families and students, or to virtually check in on them once a week. And we have our food and school supply distribution that's coming up next week, so that before they go on break, we're going to be handing out boxes of food and school supplies to families that need it before they go on break. So I just wanted to show this short little video. Let's hope technology works.
Nancy,
Yes.
I'm not seeing you sharing the slides.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Does everyone, I mean, am I the only one not seeing them?
Thank
Okay.
you.
Sorry, I'm like.
Let's see if it works. Can you
Yeah,
guys see the
it's
screen
popping up
now? All right,
Yeah.
perfect. Let's see if it works. Whoops, wrong one. Go back. This is what I wanted to present. There we go. Makeup. It's taking its time. Sorry, technology sometimes gives us a little bit of issues. Let's see if the links work. All right. So because it's Homeless Youth Awareness Month, I wanted to share this short little video that we have from a national organization that gives a perspective from the student's point of view, just to give you an idea of what students go through. Let's hope it works. Seems to be loading.
I remember bouncing around from hotel to hotel and other people's homes. We would have to go farther and farther away to get something that we could afford. It just led to needing to get up earlier and get my brothers ready so that we could make it to school on time. I felt alone for so long. When you don't have a permanent home, getting an education isn't easy, but it's your right, whether you are with your family or on your own. My advice for students experiencing homelessness is that you deserve an education as much as anyone else. Don't let anyone tell you you're not where you're supposed to be. You are. Good people will come and help you. Know your rights and find help. Visit ideserveaneducation.org.
Alrighty, so we'll close that for now. But I thought it was a good video to give you some information about how students actually feel and what they're dealing with just at this month, because it's important for us to remember that it's good to be aware of what our students are going through during this time. So I'll go ahead and go back to our slides. One thing I wanted to mention before we go on to our presenter is that we created a calendar of events for everybody. So we are keeping track of any flyers that are sent to us, and we are putting it here on our calendar of events that's available on our website. You can click on it, and then the flyers will be linked to them. So you can see what's going on. We have flu shots that are going on at some of our schools. We had one here at the Welcome Center, and we're also doing one at North High School. That's tomorrow, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And then we have the Curtis Tucker virtual ones that somebody mentioned as well. So quite a few other things that we have here. So if you're interested, we can show you at the end if we have a moment, but it is on our website if you would like to see that. At any time, you should be able to access it, or if you'd like to send flyers, we can also add your event to the calendar of events so that you have everything in one place. Okay, so then I will take this opportunity, since I know Kathleen and Alyssa have a busy schedule and have something else to run to. So we will turn it over to Kathleen and Alyssa at this time to talk about nutrition services and a new campaign that they're working on.
Hi, everyone. My name is Elisa Rabaya, and as Nancy said, I work for Nutrition Services. I'm the assistant director, and then Kathleen is the director. So something we wanted to talk about was what we call the walking movement. So if in the flyer that you see here, we're calling it step by step. So we actually created this pre-COVID. So it was actually of March of 2020. And then before we ever got to roll out with it, we kind of knew it wasn't something that was appropriate to present with the time that was given. But I think now more than ever, it's something that we all need, not only in our own personal lives, but just something that we might want to share with our own departments and our own communities. So what we call is a step-by-step, and just like what you see from the flyer, it's just trying to get everyone to move every day. I know that especially with a lot of Zoom meetings and with a lot of just computer work sitting at the desk, we're focusing a lot on just getting out of the office and getting out of the routine of our everyday, just by going outside just for 10 minutes or 30 minutes, whatever you can afford in your day. I know that Kathleen and I, we try to do a walk every single day. We set it into our calendar. It's something that we know is important, not only for our mental health, but also our physical health. And we go on a 2-mile walk every day. We try to do it briskly. And if we don't have time for a 2-mile walk, just getting outside for 10 minutes really helps. I'm sure everyone has felt that, just breathing in fresh air, enjoying the sunshine, getting to relax your mind. Because sometimes, you get stuck at a desk and you're looking at the screen for 8 hours, but even your productivity will increase if you just take a break from looking at the screen. Because I know that we all get to that, 3 o'clock slump and we're just sitting there. But if you just take a break at that time when you feel like, okay, I'm feeling low, you step outside for 10 seconds or 10 minutes, and it really just rejuvenates you. And then you're actually productive for the rest of the day. I've noticed that it improves my mood, and I also noticed that it boosts my energy. So instead of having a 3rd cup of coffee, going for a walk is probably the better option. Yes, I mean, it's really a simple thing. It's not really a challenge in that we want to make it something that becomes burdensome, but it's more of a challenge for yourself. And then the only person that's going to hold you accountable is yourself. So it's not something that we're trying to make a competition, but it's just something we want everyone to consider for themselves, and then even sharing it with their coworkers, because I'm sure it can help someone else. And then we also like to say, take a break and take a walk, but take a friend with you as well. Because I mean, sometimes it's nice to just talk about things that aren't always work related. So, and then also just keeping in mind that you should still stay socially distant and wear your mask, because obviously that's also important too. So we also always want to include that detail as well.
And then one other thing I want to mention is our next wellness committee meeting is going to be December 10th. It is via Zoom. So if anyone out there is interested in being part of our committee, we are welcoming you with open arms. So please join us. The Zoom link will be on the TUSD website under wellness. So you can't miss it. And we'll be meeting December 10th at 9:30. So hope to see some of those faces out there in our next meeting. Thank you, Nancy, for this opportunity.
Yes, thank you so much.
Course, yes. Thank you so much for coming and for letting us know. It's a good reminder. I think definitely we're all much more at our desks than we were in the past. And so it is definitely a good reminder to get up and move and breathe some fresh air rather than the office air while we're doing all of our work at the screen. So definitely, thank you. So we'll go ahead and move on to our next slide. Thank you so much, ladies, for joining us. And hopefully, yes, some of us can join the Wellness Committee meeting in December. Thanks a lot. Alrighty, so we wanted to let you know about the TUSD Virtual Wellness Center. This is a flyer that was created by our communications department. And it was created for families to let you know what resources are out there for mental health support. Not only does it have the launch of our virtual wellness center, which we will talk about, but also our virtual wellness line, some of the resources available at our sites, and our district partners, which are Care Solace and South Bay Families Connected, which we'll be highlighting. But we are just really excited about the virtual wellness center that we just launched. I will take a moment to, oops, what happened? Yikes. Here, let's see what happened here. Let's see if technology will let me go to the virtual wellness center to show you. When you get to the virtual wellness center page, when you're at the main page, you can highlight just, you don't have to click on the word parents, but if you hover over the word parents and you click on the virtual wellness center, you can access it at any time. So it's nice for our families and our staff to be able to access this and have it at your fingertips whenever you need it. And it has a great landing page, which our counselors are going to be highlighted on every month. Is that correct, Nettie? You're going to have each of your counselors? Yes, so we have a short little video we can share with you to show you the launch of the Wellness Center.
Hi, I'm Mr. Doherty. I'm the counselor at Fern Elementary School. I just want to remind you guys that it's really important to take time out of your day to help you refocus. I know for Fernie, even our school mascot needs to take some time to refocus, and he does this by going to the new virtual wellness center and using their calming tools.
Hello, my name is Judith Spector, and I'm one of the TUSD school counselors who services Carr and Multiria Elementary. And I'm so excited that TUSD is launching their wellness helpline and virtual wellness center. Our mental health is a pillar of our overall wellness, so we hope you enjoy.
Hi, my name is Angelica Jones, and I'm the school counselor at Towers Elementary School. During these past few months, we've all experienced constant change and high levels of stress. And because of that, I am so excited that Torrance is about to launch the TUSD Wellness Helpline and Virtual Wellness Center. What a fantastic resource, not only for our students and their families, but also for all the staff and their families within the district. So please take some time, go and visit, explore the site, and make sure to always take care of yourself.
So if you go down here on this page, you'll be able to access not only Care Solace and TUSD Families Connected, our partners, but if you click on it, it'll take you directly to the live virtual wellness center that you can access at any time. And there's some great resources here that you can just click on and enjoy. There are some apps that you might get information on that you want to download onto your phone so that you can remind yourself to continue to focus on your wellness throughout the day or your life. There are also some great sections in here, such as breathing and guided meditation, exercise, journaling, puzzles and games. But such as this page, you can click on the little videos that are attached. It includes information about meditation, breathing, like this one's a 5-minute stress relief meditation. And there are even some specifics for students on how teens can meditate, or specifically more geared towards kids so that they can stop, breathe, and think, do meditations. They're much cuter with animation, comics, those type of things, so kids can get into it and they're much simpler. so it may be helpful for them. There's some white noise to focus on studying, ocean waves, relaxation, different things that you can click on throughout your day or throughout your life that might be helpful to have you focus on wellness. So we just wanted to share that with you so that we could give you an idea of what you have available there. So back to
Nancy, Terry Reagan's here.
Hi.
Feedback on that front page that
Yes,
had the 3 buttons on the bottom,
yes.
the one for the beginning resources, and then Care Solace and the Families Connected.
Yes.
I had a parent say, so I don't have any idea what Care Solace or Families Connected is. So I'm not going to go to that.
Gotcha. That's a good idea. So we could put more of a description underneath so that they could have some information on
Just a
what.
little synopsis to say, you know, what our relationship is or what the intent is for that connection.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
That makes a lot of sense.
In fact, they asked me if Care Solace was a bereavement thing, which is interesting.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Maybe with solace.
Yeah, yeah.
How they might make that connection. Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's not. It definitely
No.
is not.
But
Nettie,
they can connect them to bereavement and grief
Yeah.
if they
resources.
need it. Mhm.
They
It's just
can.
the only thing. Yes. So Care Solace just briefly is like a search engine and a connection that provides information for families to be able to access mental health or substance abuse resources. But Nettie may be showing you that if we have time later on. But we also just launched our wellness line for our families in the district. So not only TUSD families, but staff, which are also our families as well in our TUSD community. Anytime weekdays, Monday through Thursdays, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., they can call this number to get information about mental health, community resources, social emotional wellness, any of those things, so that they can be connected. And we're so grateful to our safe therapists and also our interns that are here throughout the district that are helping us man the wellness line throughout the days that we have here. The only time it's closed is Fridays after hours and also on school holidays. So just keep that in mind. But it does have a voicemail. So we've had a couple of parents leave messages and families can also email us as well. Did you want to add anything, Nettie? No, okay. So we're going to go on. We also had some information. We are rolling out, this is our first year. We were able to, in a consortium with LA County Office of Ed, to be granted a 2-pay grant, which is tobacco use and prevention education. And the main goal of going into this grant with LA County as a consortium was because of the rise in vaping seen not only in TUSD, but in the surrounding South Bay community and in the whole nation that we've seen recently. So it called for some intervention and prevention that we felt would be helpful in our district. And so yay, we were able to get that 3-year grant, which was great. It's about $170,000 every year for the next 3 years. And so we're not going to give you a giant overview of every element, but we wanted to let you know that we are starting that process. Unfortunately, we didn't plan to have this roll out when COVID was happening, so we're having to make some adjustments. It will be starting second semester. The elements are a prevention curriculum and some intervention pieces. So the grant will be and has allowed us to bring on Monica Pavlovic, which is a licensed marriage family therapist, to help not only with the intervention piece, but with cessation pieces. So she'll be doing individual and group work and consulting with schools to be able to provide intervention for students who have been caught vaping, because we know that in this virtual environment, we probably won't catch as many students vaping on campus because they're not physically with us at this moment. But they may be providing, she may be providing intervention to those students throughout the second semester and helping our schools roll out the other pieces, which are youth engagement, to be able to get our youth involved in some activities at their school site, providing workshops to parents and to staff throughout the district. And of course, we'll be as a team providing staff development for the staff that will be rolling out those elements at their school site. So we just wanted you to be aware of what was coming. And we will be doing this at all middle schools in TUSD and all high schools in TUSD. So students will be getting a prevention curriculum in some of their classes, probably second semester this year. And Nettie, the grades, do you want to let them know which grades we're rolling them out?
Yes, in the middle school, we'll be doing the prevention curriculum in grade 6 and 8, and in high school, we'll be doing it in grade 9.
Mhm. And then the last piece is we'll be doing the California Healthy Kids Survey with what grades were those, Nettie?
6, 7, 9, and 11.
So hopefully that'll give us some prevention data and hopefully data to be able to write further grants to help support mental health services in Torrance Unified. So we just wanted to provide you with that. And then just some quick updates. We wanted to give you some information about virtual parent workshops that are coming up. We have a series of virtual workshops that I'm conducting in collaboration with other TUSD staff on different topics. So the one that's coming up is winter wellness, so managing stress during COVID. That'll be on December 2nd. Then the next one is supporting academic success, which is in January. And then there's social media and relationships in March, and substance use peer pressure, which will be in May. So we just wanted to give you guys that information. We will have the link there so that you can click on it when we include the presentation for everybody when we follow up so that you're aware. And then our Family Welcome Enrollment Center will be doing, if you have clients who you work with who have little ones who are about to start school, we're already planning ahead for the next school year, which will be 21-22. So we have a workshop coming up December 4th for TK Kinder enrollment. We will be recording it. So it'll be available on our website after December 4th. And then we have an incoming permits workshop that will be held in January. Also, I'm going to provide some information I'm not. Ms. Layola will be providing information about what's going on with our counselors and psychologists. Nettie?
Thank you, Nancy. Yes, first I wanted to just kind of begin and give you guys an update on our students that are back on our campuses. Since the end of September, we have had some students back on campus. The first students that came back to campus were individually for special education testing. So as of the end of September, we have had students coming onto campus, scheduled appointments with our school psychologists and speech and language pathologists and OTs and whoever needs to do their special education assessments. They've been back on our campuses for us to start conducting our special education testing again individually. Also, beginning October 5th, we started bringing students back for special education services. Now, and just so you guys know, the students that we were bringing back for special education services are those that are most impacted and have had the most difficulty accessing through distance learning. So for example, our students that might be in our, most of the students that came back were the ones that were in our moderate to severe classes. So our students that are, need help with writing, need help with speaking, need help with a lot of stuff. So we're looking at our students that are most impacted. So they're more our SDC ABA classes are the ones that came back. And just so you know, the first wave of students that came back, we were limited to 10% of the school population. So that's why we didn't bring back more students. It's because we're limited to 10% of the population. That was through LA County Department of Public Health orders. And so one thing to note for the students that were brought back for special education services, they were receiving their services in person. So that includes counseling services, that includes OT services, that includes speech and language services as well. Then a little bit later, towards the end of October, our sites were able to bring back small learning pods or cohorts. Again, these were for students that they were invited back for support and assistance. So we were looking at our students that, again, were in the most need. So we're looking at our EL students, our homeless foster students, and other students that were not or have not been accessing instruction virtually. And then we've gotten the go-ahead from LA County Department of Public Health. They've increased the maximum we can have on campuses. Again, I don't know, some things change very quickly. So last I heard, and I say last I heard, because if anything has changed in the last day, it may have incorrect information, but we were given the go-ahead to go up to 25% of our students can be back on our campuses. And so the plan is to bring back our TK, K, and first graders first. And so on, the plan is for December 7th to have our TK and kindergartners come back. And then for our first graders to come back on January 4th. Again, that's the plan. I have to give the caveat that it's all dependent on Department of Public Health orders. And I do hear that numbers are going up with COVID cases. And so at this point, just know, as everything has been since February and early March, things can change within a day or two in terms of the information and updates we're given. So as of today, this is the information that we have. Next slide, please. So we also want to talk about the social emotional supports. So we are continuing to do second step with our first, fourth, and sixth graders. Some of the second step lessons are being done in person. No, I'm sorry, not in person with the students, but they're doing it in the classroom, like in person now, not in person, face to face, but in person, where the counselor is doing a live presentation in the class, in the virtual classroom. Some are doing them as recorded lessons where they're being assigned as homework through the classroom teacher. And so some are recorded, some are live, some are being done as homework, some are being done in the classroom, virtual classroom. Also start with hello is being done with our 4th through 8th graders. And again, start with hello. Teaches students to be inclusive and prevent social isolation. Some of our schools have updated their video presentations to include how to remain connected and prevent social isolation virtually as well. Then we have other school site support. So each of our schools are doing, additional things in addition to what everyone is doing. So almost all of our counselors have Google Classrooms that they've created. They include social, emotional, mental health related activities and resources. A lot of our counselors have created their own virtual calming rooms that can be accessed by students, families, and staff virtually. A lot of them are doing bullying lessons, kindness weeks, mindful Mondays, wellness Wednesdays. Also this year at registration, we had parent screener questions to gain more information about the impact of school closures on our students' social emotional functioning. It was an optional parent screener. And follow-up was provided with families that had identified social emotional needs based on their responses to the parent screener questions. They were followed up with counselors and or interns, and some of them were followed up with by our mental health therapist. We did notice that a lot of the students that were identified were already students that we were aware of concerns and were already providing different social emotional supports too. And I skipped mental health therapists. I apologize. And for the second year, we are so excited that we continue to have a mental health therapist through SAGE on each of our high school comprehensive campuses. And we also through South Bay Children's Health Center have a counselor for 2 days a week at each of our middle school. A mental health therapist 2 days a week at each of our middle schools and at Sherry Drevno. And then one thing I want to remind everyone about is SSARS. We've seen a decrease in our reports to SSARS. So we just want everyone to be aware that we still have Say Something Anonymous reporting system. It's still available. It's still working. We're still getting tips from them. We're just seeing a great decrease. And so we're a little concerned about that because we want to make sure that students know that they can still access and we're still getting those reports. Care Solace, as Nancy mentioned earlier, we continue to have referrals to Care Solace and parents accessing Care Solace. And Nancy also mentioned the staff resources earlier, which we're very pleased to have a lot of different staff resources available. Next slide, please.
Wait, Nettie, can I ask you a quick question?
Sure.
The anonymous reporting system, have we done any sort of PR about that this school year to encourage use of it?
That is a really good question. We were just having discussion about that yesterday, that I don't know how many sites have brought it up this year. And so I'm going to reach out and ask them to do a reminder, because I know we were going to add it, make sure we added it to the school IDs this year, but then I know school IDs got quite
Oh.
disrupted by
Yeah.
COVID. And so we were actually just talking yesterday about making sure that we are reminding our students that SSARS is still available.
Okay, and then the parent screener, was that for all ages that
Yes.
was on? Okay,
Yes.
thanks.
And it was optional as part of the online registration.
Okay.
So not everyone filled it out. Oh, a trusted space documentary. So we just wanted to share this documentary that was done or that's available on PBS that talks about and offers tools to help students and teachers deal with grief, trauma, anxiety, and other emotional stressors. We just want to do a quick, show you the quick trailer on it. Nancy? Nancy, we can't hear it.
Mm-mm. No audio.
Recognize that they're people, they have feelings.
Strange. Hold on.
I think it's because you were muted.
You think so?
I do, because as soon as you unmuted yourself, we could hear it again.
Okay, let's
Every
start
moment
over.
of great progress in history has come on the heels of great social upheaval. And we are in one of those moments now. It's really important for teachers to recognize that they're people. They have feelings. They're not super people. They're pretty close to super people. You know what I mean?
It is not an easy task that we are faced with.
There is no procedure for a global pandemic.
I feel like this is like a zombie movie or something, and I'm like,
all of us are in some way living a different life. We've never done this before.
How do we create a climate in our schools where kids feel respected and appreciated, where the adults feel respected and appreciated, where we all can do our best work?
Thank you, Nancy.
So we just wanted to provide you that so that you have access to it. It's available online at the link here. We'll share the PowerPoint with everybody later. It's just something we're all going through, so it seemed like a good perspective for you guys to have. So we wanted to provide some time also. We thank for very much for our guest speaker to be here today. I don't know if there's more than one of them here from Curtis Tucker that was prepared to present on the new opening of the Wellness Center from Curtis Tucker. Are you guys here ready to go?
yeah, hi.
Hi.
Sorry, I cut my camera off because I'm like all over the place. But hi, I'm here and I'm present and I'm ready to present. I also have my colleague here today, Crystal and Steve. So they'll be presenting on another portion of our the presentation. But me, I'm Tyler Jones and I am the health educator for the Department of Public Health Service Planning Area 8. So spot 8, which you all are a part of because you are part of the TUSD school district. So yeah, so we'll just jump right into it. So today I'll be presenting about our wellness communities that we have throughout the county. So a little bit of background about like how this idea got started. A part of the mission for our department was to work to ensure that everyone in LA County has the opportunities and resources they need for optimal health and achieving optimal health, even with COVID going on. So we know that health and well-being is determined in a large part by the conditions in which people live, work, and play. access to education and employment, livable wages, and social supports, and safety environments are closely linked to overall individual and community health. We have a lot of DPH programs that work towards improving the social determinants of health by working upstream on policy and system issues. So our department, especially our new director, Dr. Ferrer, I'm sure many of you know her from the press briefings or seen her on TV for COVID updates, is committed to providing more opportunities and resources that offer prevention services directly to our community. So what does that mean for our work? This means, in addition to our traditional public health programs and our clinical services, we expand our resources where we can provide to our clients a broad range of services and support on site. So this is where our community wellness centers come into play. So you go to the next slide. So we have all these wellness centers that have opened. Ours has a different name for whatever reason. Not 100% sure why. We have like a banner on our building. So our wellness community is called the Curtis Tucker Center for Community Wellness. And that banner, when it got placed and put up, can't be replaced or changed. So that's how our name is different. But we have these different wellness communities that we've launched. So we have our Antelope Valley Health Center. They have one in Spa 1. We have one in Spa 2 for North Hollywood that's expected to launch. So it's under construction and in the process of being built. It may take, I would like to think probably by the end of next year or the end of next year, hopefully, but things have been pushed back because of COVID in terms of construction and building. Pomona has already launched theirs. Hollywood and Wilshire for Spa 4 has launched theirs. MLK was the first one to launch, and they launched in 2018. Whittier launched earlier this year, and ours launched just in September. So we are fairly new, and we're providing a slew of different services to our community members. And the hours and things are varying. Obviously, we're not in the real world. Pre-COVID, we would be meeting in person and having community members come to the wellness communities and visit our wellness communities for the different services in which we would provide. But since COVID has happened, we have to get creative and venture to the virtual space.
Tyler, where are you located?
I am located in Inglewood, so I'll get there.
Okay,
So
okay.
it's coming. Don't worry, I got you. So I'm located at Curtis Tucker in the Spot 8. So our facility is located in Inglewood. So if you're familiar with the Inglewood area, we're located off of Manchester and La Brea. We're literally right, depending on where you are, we're right behind the library. So our center is right there. So the wellness communities are composed of 3 different areas. So there we have our wellness, our core center, our healing and trauma and prevention, and then we have another one which is what's the next one? There's 3. Yeah, so it's the wellness community, our core center, and then our healing and trauma prevention center. So the next slide, please. So our wellness communities are a rebranded space for a public health center. So every spa has one. The location will be different because we do have different public health centers. So I know like for 5 and 6, for spas 5 and 6, they're considered mega spas. So that means that they're basically work together jointly to provide services to those communities. So there's only technically like one wellness center for those 2 spas. So, but in our instance for spa 7 and 8, we're a mega spa too, but we both have different wellness centers as well. So we have our public health service centers. We would usually be providing services like STDs at our clinics, and then we have like TB services and immunizations that we provide to community members, as well as community engagement opportunities and health and wellness and education workshops. So again, pre-COVID, we will have our STD clinic downstairs and people can come and get tested for STDs. If they wanted immunizations, they can come here for those as well. Our clinic has opened up, like our DHS clinic, so the Department of Health Services is open, and that very limited services, but they're open, so you can call to get an appointment. But they are doing free flu shots, but to people who are uninsured. So if you're uninsured and you need a flu shot, you're more than welcome to come. They're here Tuesdays and Thursdays, I believe, to give out free flu shots, and they do it in the morning to the afternoon. So the hours for each one of the wellness communities varies. I know the MLK one in particular, they do services on Saturday, or they were doing services on Saturday. So I'm sure it's probably like shifted to virtually. We don't have any services on Saturday for our center because when you have to provide services on the weekend, we also have to provide like the correct staffing for that too. So like in future tense, if we were to meet in person, it's a possibility, but we have to make sure that, you know, we have security and staff that are willing to be here. So that is something too. So yeah, so like I said, the components are core, our healing and trauma prevention center, our community meeting space, and our health and wellness classes. So in a perfect world, we would be downstairs. I will show you guys a tour of our facility, and you can see the space. It's a very large space, and then we have a partition in the middle. So say if you wanted to do a class at the same time as somebody else, we would have the partition to separate you off so you guys can both run your program simultaneously. We also have like a little kitchen area. So if people wanted to do like cooking demos and things like that, we have that. We also have a like tech. So we have TVs, and then we have a camera. So if you want to do programming like right there, like on camera, you can do that as well. So that's a really cool feature. Next slide. So we have our core center, and I'll be able to turn this over to Steve and Crystal to talk a little bit more about what core offers.
Sorry, I was muted.
It's okay.
Everyone, my name is Crystal, and Steve and I are the substance use disorder counselors over at CORE. CORE stands for Connecting Opportunities for Recovery and Engagement. And our goal is to increase the opportunities for youth, adults, family, friends throughout all of LA County to better understand substance use disorders and connect them to needed prevention and treatment services. So CORE is a SAPC-led prevention and intervention program within the Wellness Committee. We have the 2 counselors, and we're housed in the Wellness Center suite. We're going to be able to provide counseling and education spaces within the wellness community. And the CORE Centers will also address questions, any questions about substance use disorders and services for the public. We are currently doing in-person, we will be doing in-person. We're currently doing telephone screenings and referrals for substance use. So if anyone knows anyone who possibly may or may not be in need of treatment and wants to have a screening and referral, we can do that by telephone. And well, we can also give referrals to physical and mental health services too. Part of our core center is risk reduction and prevention. And so one of the workshops we're going to offer is one on naloxone, which is an opioid overdose medication. And we'll actually provide the training on administration and how to reverse that with that medication. We also provide the actual kit with the medication inside if anybody completes the presentation. We will have individual education, group discussions. We can also make connections to other support services if they need Medi-Cal benefits or getting supportive housing or other things like family reunification. We can provide connections to that. And we're also going to be providing a venue for supplemental workshops from partner organizations. So part of our workshops, I told you about the opioid overdose one. We also have reducing stigma of substance use disorder. We have how to help your loved one and how to talk to your loved ones about substance use disorders, what to know about treatment, and then also a couple of workshops on your teen and vaping, your teen and substance use for any parents that would be interested. All the services are free to the public, and particularly for those on Medi-Cal or My Health LA, either eligible or enrolled. Thank you.
Thank you, Crystal. So yeah, they just had their first virtual program the other day on substance abuse in your community, and it went really well. So they'll be having a few more, and I'll give you guys more information on that at the end on how you, if you want to get more involved with programming or joining the programs, more than welcome to do so. And I'll provide all that information towards the end of my presentation. So our next component of our wellness communities is the healing and the trauma prevention centers. So the healing and trauma prevention centers are envisioned as a place within the community wellness centers to support individuals and communities healing and recovering from trauma. So for example, the MLK Center, their public health, their wellness community has a lot of different like art activities. So they'll do like a paint and sip, but it's like you're not sipping anything, you're just painting. And then they have drum circles, and they use art as a form of healing. So they really draw community members in with that. They've even done it, I believe, virtually too. So that's pretty cool. So it also includes individual and group healing opportunities, specialized programs, supports and services designed by and for specific communities surrounding the community wellness centers. So we don't just like come up with off the top of our heads like, oh, we think this is going to be really great like for them, and that's going to be their like butter and bread. We really go out to the community members and reach out to partners to come up with different programming that we feel will be best suited for people that live within our spa and like what they need and what people would benefit from. We also have DMH services. So we do like mental health assessments, treatments and referrals, trauma-focused therapy, group counseling, and trauma prevention and treatment programming. And we also have crisis intervention services. So each site will collaborate with local community organizations to provide trauma support services, healing arts, and violence prevention activities. So like I said, we do these things through our needs assessment, and we find out what will be best for the community. And like Crystal mentioned earlier, all of our services are free to the community, and that is what that comes with what wanting to provide services here. So if you want to provide services at any of the community wellness centers, you would have to be willing to do it for free because they're free to the community. So that's our ask, is like we provide you a free and open space to do your programming as long as it's free to the people, it's free to participants. So our next slide. So DPH wellness communities, so we envision will be a regional hub for planning and implementation of programs and initiatives, serve as a physical space for community gathering, engagement, and education to promote healing and overall wellness, which sounds like a foreign topic now because it's like we can't really gather and touch each other and hug and heal and kumbaya all in one space. But, you know, we do what we can with our virtual space and what we would like to see from our partnering organization. So if you all are interested and would like to provide any types of services or programming that would be beneficial to us, we definitely welcome that. Even if it's just one class or program, whatever it may be, if we can align together to provide that, we do that. We do that through a virtual platform. So we do meetings through Teams or WebEx. And we send out our calendar to our partners, and we also send like daily reminders of sessions that are going on for the day. So we have like, for example, 2 sessions tonight or 2 today. One is in the afternoon. It's a nutrition and cooking class, but it's in Spanish. And then we have another Spanish led DMH program, and I forget what it's about. It's about some type of disorders. So you can go to the next slide. Ta-da! This is our Curtis Tucker Center for Community Wellness. So like if you look towards your right in the corner, that would be, that's what it looks like. It's like an open space, and it's right like on the side, tucked away from like our bigger building. And that's where we will have our classes, our programming. So like the classes like Crystal was talking about, you would have them there, and then like you would meet in their group setting, and it's very private and cozy, and you it's a very safe and welcoming environment. So we hope to see you in person one day, someday soon. But that's what it looks like. So next slide. And this is our calendar. So I'll put this in the chat for you all. So like I said, today we have our Spanish cooking series, and then we have our Spanish, so it's anxiety and depression for the DMH, promotoras lead that. So it's a series on different like mental health series. So we had one earlier like on the 9th in English for holiday blues. So we have a professional doctor come, and she gives advice as well as different things to remedy like seasonal depression and how to like make it through the holidays if people are having a difficult time. And I'm sure now, if anything, it's probably difficult because a lot of people can't gather with their families as much as they want to in the spaces they want to. So we really try to assess like what the community will need, and we provide an array of services. So we have services for bullying prevention. We have, like I said, cooking and nutrition. We also have our SPA youth advisors. So it's a program that we get youth throughout the community together, and they learn different ways to be a part of public health. So they do like public speaking and different community engagement activities. So they did a presentation on COVID-19 earlier this month. Next slide. So we're looking for people to provide more input. So if you are interested in doing the needs assessment for us about different programming, planning ideas, or resources and activities we could provide to the community members, feel free to go to the SurveyMonkey link here. And I can put that in the chat as well if you will be interested in providing anything in terms of like services, programming, resources. We can use all the help we can get. We're constantly looking for different ways to improve and modify and be the best we can be for our community. Next slide. So then if you're interested in providing free services through our Curtis Tucker Center for Community Wellness, please email us at curtistuckerccw@ph.lacounty.gov and just provide us a little bit of information about the services you're interested in providing. All our services are free of charge to our community members. Obviously, we can't charge via Zoom because that sounds silly. But so like I said, we have our cooking now, we have some yoga, we have bullying prevention. So we're looking to just increase and improve and provide community members things that would be beneficial to them. I know things are winding down because of the holidays, so that doesn't mean that we stop. We're still here and we're open to the community. So if you have programming that you want to do, even if it's not now or in December, and you want to do some type of programming or services that you would like to offer in January or the following year, more than welcome to reach out to us and get that information going, and then we'll reach out to you and start that partnership. Then so these are all the contacts for the different wellness communities if you all are interested in having them. So like I said, like SPA 4 and 5 are, 5 and 6 are one, so that's why it's MLK is just listed there. But if you're interested in contacting any of these people for their respective spas to get any more information, please do so. Specifically for SPA 8, if you're interested in more information, you can contact Lindsay, but she's super busy, so I'll leave my contact in the chat if you have any questions or concerns or comments and need to reach out. So that's it for me. Unless you all have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat or anything like that. And yes, COVID. I'll be working on that. I'll be working on that after this presentation.
Thank you so much for coming. We appreciate it. We know you guys are busy, and it's strange having to launch something during a global pandemic. So I definitely understand having to make all those changes, and we appreciate you taking the time to tell us about it. So if anybody has questions, does anybody have questions? Because I know
Nancy, I do. This is Terry Reagans. So Tyler, you're intended to be the regional wellness center for all of SPA 8. Am I understanding that correctly?
Essentially, yes. So we don't have like a bunch of different, health centers throughout the spa that are county based. So we have this one and we have another health center located in Torrance, but the wellness community in particular is located here at our Inglewood location. So our ideal goal,
The wellness community in particular.
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
All right, thank you, Tyler. Anyone else have questions before we go on? Because I know we're just out of time and I just wanted to quickly touch base on some of the updates we had. I will be emailing out the PowerPoint to everybody because I won't be going over these slides as much as we would like because we are out of time and I'd like to respect your time. So I just wanted to make sure to remind everybody, obviously, as Nettie mentioned, the COVID numbers are going up. So as the holidays approach, just kind of be careful and continue to try and observe, the 6 feet distance. And if you want to rethink some of your holiday plans so that you're in smaller groups, or they're saying maybe eat outside, a lot of different things, but we all need to remember to wear our masks and so forth. So just to be safe out there as we start the holiday season. Nettie, did you have a comment?
Do you mind just going ahead really quickly just to do the child abuse and domestic violence slide?
That was the next one.
Just real quick. Sorry, guys. I know we're a little over, but we just thought it was really, really, really important to share these numbers, let you know these numbers are on here. Unfortunately, in times of increased stress and pressure, there is an increase in domestic violence and child abuse, but guess what? We're also getting a lot less reports of them. The Child Protective Services in general, not just LA County, but in general, have been receiving up to a 40% reduction in reports of child abuse. It would be amazing and wonderful if we thought there really was that 40% reduction in child abuse. That would be amazing. Unfortunately, that's not what we think is going on. We think it's just that it's not being reported because students are not coming to schools where they have their safe space to share these things, or where we might see bruises on children, things like that. So we just wanted to make sure we shared these numbers with you. If you want to check them out, they're on the slide. So if you know anyone who's experiencing domestic violence, please share the numbers and encourage them to. And also, if you suspect child abuse, or you know anyone who suspects child abuse, please give them the number to call for the Child Protection Hotline. They do take reports from neighbors and people in the communities. Okay, please, please, please. And also, if you know of domestic violence that's happening, and you know that a kid's getting involved, or a lot of stuff is getting thrown around, that could also be a possible child abuse report as well. So, even if you know someone where the domestic violence is going on or it's getting worse, that is something, and there's children in the home, that can be reported to DCFS for them to look into it. Thank you so much.
So we just wanted to also share that our South Bay Families Connected partner has an upcoming speaker, or they had a speaker, and the whole talk is available on their website if you click on the link. Also, they have an upcoming workshop for teens that has to do with procrastination, which would have been great for me as a teenager. So if anybody is interested, you can click on that link as well to sign up. And also to let you know, in terms of public health, Tyler mentioned Barbara Ferrer. The 2-hour parent town hall that they had is available online if anybody would like to view it. I just wanted to share that link with you. And also, oh, no.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Deb.
I don't want to share the whole 2 hours with you. So also, just as we're saying goodbye to everybody, we wanted to say happy Thanksgiving. And as we reflect, it's a good time to give back to our community. So we wanted to remind you that if anybody is interested in helping our students and families that are in need in Torrance Unified, we are starting a sponsor a family program for the holidays. A lot of our students are facing adult challenges that we maybe don't quite understand, or through no fault of their own, makes it more difficult for them to celebrate the holidays. So if you're interested in sponsoring a family for the holidays, you can be matched with a family in need, homeless, foster, or in need in Torrance Unified. If you sign up at the link below, you can be matched with a family, and we'll ask you to give one gift, a small one to each family member, and one gift to the family as a whole, which could be like a a small gift card so that they can celebrate the holidays. So if you're interested, take a look at the link and let us know if you have any questions. But we just wanted to thank you for coming, and feel free to check out our web pages or contact us if you have any questions. We did record this time, as we mentioned, so we'll be sending that out to everybody before we leave. We know we went over, so we apologize, but we thank you for taking the time out of your day. Does anybody have any announcements or questions before we say goodbye? No? Okay. Thank you so much for coming, and we appreciate your time. Thanks a lot.